Hello students, welcome to Notebook. In this video, we will speak about rights. We shall be discussing the meaning, relations in which these rights work, kind of rights, and their importance. We will also look into the demand for new type of rights. Students, we wear uniforms to school, right? However, it could be possible that some of you don't want to wear uniforms. There is a difference from what you want to what you are entitled to. Right is an entitlement or a justified claim, but what you desire may not be desirable. Rights are necessary entitlements or requirements as an individual or a group of people to live life with dignity and respect. For example, the right to livelihood may be considered necessary for leading a life of dignity. Rights are justifiable claims which represent conditions for human life. For example, a right like the right to education, for instance, helps to develop our capacity to reason, gives us useful skills, and enables us to make informed choices in life. But using drugs is not good for health, and it cannot be claimed as a right. Claims could be from moral, legal, natural, and historical basis. Rights develop citizens' talents, skills, and help make informed choices. Students, have you ever thought, where do these rights come from? To answer this question, we will dive a little into the sources of these rights. Rights, as per early philosophers like Locke and Kant, were given to us by nature or God, derived from natural law, and that humans are born with them. Only 3 natural rights of man were identified in earlier times: the right to life, liberty, and property. These 3 rights were considered as the basis of all other rights. The idea that we are born with certain rights implies that no state or organization has the authority to take away what has been given to us by the law of nature. This conception of natural rights has been used widely to safeguard individual freedom. With the progress of society and abolition of oppression, example, abolition of slavery, the concept of basic rights has evolved as well. Rights to clean environment, rights to children, right to freedom, right to livelihood and education, etc. are some of the human rights which have evolved. Human rights assert each person is unique and equally valuable, and no one is born to serve others. Individuals must possess equal opportunities in order to be free and to be capable to realize self-potential. The UN Declaration of Human Rights is based on this idea of equal opportunity so that individuals can lead a respectful and dignified life. Immanuel Kant described that even when a person is uneducated, poor, or powerless, dishonest or immoral, but as a human being, he deserves to be given some minimum dignity. Kant's view presents the moral concepts of rights. First, treat others like you would like to be treated. Second, we should not treat others as means to our ends. In 1948, United Nations adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, right to social security, right to free movement, and 30 such rights constitutes universal human rights. These rights are those that people have been born with and are applicable to all humans as equals. These rights are sought by oppressed people to overcome laws which segregate them and deny them equal opportunities and rights. For example, slavery. These laws extend to children, women, and sick people. While most of the rights that we have discussed are moral rights, it depends on the adoption and implementation by the state. Right to good life means state is obligated to provide for clean air and water. Also, a state cannot arrest at will and would have to produce before a judicial court. Rights prove to be restrictive for state and impose obligations upon the state to act in a justified way. Authority of the state should be exercised without violating individual life and liberty. State exists for people and to ensure that individuals' good life and dignity is to be maintained. There are three kinds of rights: political rights, economic rights, and cultural rights. Let us learn a bit more in details about them. Political rights for citizens are capabilities to take part in political processes. For example, right to vote, contest elections, etc. It also provides citizens with the right to equality before law. These rights make government accountable to the people. Civil liberties allow right to a free and fair trial, the right to express one's views freely, the right to protest and express dissent. Together, civil rights and political rights form the basis of a democratic system of government. Economic rights provide livelihood and adequate wage to citizens with low incomes. These rights have recently been adopted in many countries. For example, in India, the government has recently introduced a rural employment guarantee scheme, among other measures to help the poor. Cultural rights are also being recognized in many democratic countries. Rights like primary education in mother tongue, right to establish institutions for teaching one's language and culture, etc., constitutes cultural rights. So students, are all rights justifiable? For example, only residents of a state are allowed to purchase land in that state. Discuss this in your class. Let's now discuss about rights and responsibilities. Rights put both state and its citizens under certain obligations. For example, both the state and its citizens are responsible for protecting the environment. It compels people to think beyond personal needs and defend things good for all, like preventing air and water pollution, afforestation, etc. Secondly, it requires every individual to respect the rights of others and emphasize on common good. Example, standing in a queue for buying tickets. Thirdly, one must balance one's rights when they come into conflict. We should not post offensive pictures on social media. Fourthly, we must be cautious about limitations placed on our rights. Increased restrictions on the civil liberties of citizens on the grounds of national security has led to serious debate. For example, suspension of fundamental rights, except Article 20 and 21 during national emergency. We have come to the end of our discussion on rights. Do spend time with your friends and parents to discuss on the different situations that you see on television and the type of rights it impacts. See you soon in our other videos. Goodbye.